Hello people, what's going on? Welcome back to another Keelgottime video, and today, because Keelgottime, we're going to be reacting to a video I'm actually very excited for. I'm very excited for this one. This is moments where One Piece fights went absolutely insane. Now, as you know me, I'm a true One Piece fan. Y'all see the poster in the back, like, I caught up time ago. I've been watching, like, I caught up, like, when did I catch up? Pretty much, I caught up when, like, they was at the start of Whole Cake. I think that's when I caught up. So, yeah, but bro, One Piece, one of my favorite animes, without a doubt, So let's get into this. Let's rewatch some of these amazing fight scenes real quick. I seen a quote that said on TikTok, and it was like, currently One Piece has the best animation for fight scenes, and I was like, I agree. In anime right now, currently One Piece is holding the fights. One Piece is holding it until Bleach Core 4 comes out, or we get that new JJK or something. I think One Piece is on top for now in terms of fight animation scenes. They're up there. Starting off with God. Bro just flexed his arm with hockey, bro. He just flexed his arm with hockey and then hit the dash on him, bro. Whooped him. Whoop. Nah, you imagine being thrown that deep down into earth. Whooped him. I swear, bro. What if it? And why do people keep falling for Shiryu, bro? Everyone always falling for Shiryu's stupid invisibility fruit that he stole off my man in Thriller Bark. Like, bro. Dumb Kobe, man.
When One Piece fights go wild, they create moments fans never forget. From Luffy's legendary clash with Katakuri to Whitebeard shaking
one of my best fights, Luffy v Katakuri. One of my best fights.
The entire,
if not Luffy v Kaido, Luffy v Katakuri.
World at Marineford. These are the moments when One Piece fights went absolutely insane. We start with one of the most epic battles in modern One Piece. Katakuri seemed unbeatable from the start, and with the terrifying advantage of advanced observation haki, he pushed Luffy to his absolute limits.
Force! Snake Man!
But then Luffy revealed another Gear 4 form for the very first time, and the entire flow of the fight shifted.
No, he got that wrong. See, because I love One Piece so much, I gotta be critical. It's not for the first time. Remember his Gear 4, what was it, Tank Man. There's Gear 4 Bounce Man, Gear 4 Tank Man that I had to fight Cracker to even get here. So, I'm sorry, my guy. That was false information from you then. But yeah, Snake Man though, sick moment, because this was his toughest form until Gear 5. So seeing this first time in the middle of the longest of battles, and it just looks like bro's losing, and he pulls out this, tough.
Luffy revealed another Gear 4 form for the very first time, and the entire flow of the fight shifted. Suddenly, Luffy was able to keep up with Katakuri's speed, trading blow for blow and even pushing past him at times. What started as a completely one-sided beatdown turned into a duel of equals.
Power
でも速さでも
餅がベタついて全然離れねえ
終わりだ麦わら
Cooked him.
고무노 브라크 만바
Boy, that observation hockey came in clutch, bro. Came in clutch. Forgive me if I'm mistaken, but he was like, was he #1 user of observation hockey? Was he #1 user? Or not #1 user, but like, you know, he was like known to be one of the strongest observation hockey motherfuckers, isn't it? And his devil fruit is just better than Luffy's. It's just better. I mean, well, obviously not, because now we know Luffy is Sun God Nika, of course. But like, if we're talking about Robber versus Mochi, Katakuri had him beat in everything.
무고무노 킹의 코브라
さっきりの茶もう逃げられんぞ
The non-stop intensity, the insane choreography, and the growth we saw in real time made this fight one of the craziest battles in the series. But what elevated it even further was Katakuri himself. He wasn't just another enemy, he was a rival who gained Luffy's respect, and in turn, gave Luffy his own. The moment where Luffy covered his mouth with his hat, honoring Katakuri's pride, perfectly captured the mutual respect that turned this from a simple fight into a legendary clash. Katakuri isn't loved by the fans for nothing. This battle showed exactly why he's one of the most iconic characters in the series.
ルフィなんだと麦わらのルフィをぶち殺してそいつは俺の弟だ野放しにできねえな
Next, we have the fateful clash between Ace and Blackbeard. What began as a pursuit of betrayal turned into one of the most dangerous fights in the series. Blackbeard's newly acquired Devil Fruit made him a terrifying opponent, nullifying Ace's Devil Fruit powers and dragging him into darkness. Ace, on the other hand, unleashed the full power of his flames, turning the battlefield into a blazing inferno. Fire and darkness collided in a spectacle.
Saying if only they had clashed before he got the Devil Fruit, Ace would have whooped him. Whooped him all, bro. Whooped him all. Especially that annoying sniper nigga, bro. It's jarring. What's his name? Like, Van Algen or some shit, bro. Yeah, nah. Would have whooped him, but his Devil Fruit is just something else. And again, we only ever see him use the, like, he mainly uses Whitebeard Fruit, I've noticed now in fights, when we do see him on screen. Mainly uses Whitebeard Fruit, and then he'll only use the Darkness Fruit. Like, when he knows, okay, shit, let me just end this now. Let me show this motherfucker what's up. But nah, Blackbeard, man. Yeah. Oh gosh, I can't wait to see end the series Blackbeard.
That showed just how dangerous both men truly were. The sheer scale of their powers was insane, and while the fight itself was incredible, its consequences were even greater. This was the battle that set the stage for Marineford, and it all started with Ace versus Blackbeard.
わかったかエースあおっちゃクローズクローズ進化しられイエス炎の槍かお前の強さをもってしてもな身の前では全て無力エース俺の仲間になれ男に生まれた意味がねえだろう分かったかバカいやんかいエンテ俺は白ひげを王にする 愛妖か闇か勝者は一人だ
Imagine fighting a giant that's 67 meters tall, over 219 feet. A normal giant in One Piece is around 12 meters, so Oars was already on a...
I'm gonna skip this fight just because I think Thriller Bark's just trash. And this fight wasn't that impressive.
Shigon!
Luffy versus round one.
Luffy pushed himself further than ever before, unveiling gear...
Okay, but question though, which fight broke the internet more for its time? Luffy versus Lucci, round one, or round two on Egghead? Because this is like an iconic fight right here. This is iconic. But which, and again, don't chalk it up to animation, because obviously Egghead animation is much better. But like, yeah, think about the impactfulness of the round one though.
Second and Gear third in desperate attempts to break through. Each exchange was brutal, every hit carrying real weight, and the fight turned into a test of pure willpower. What made this battle absolutely insane wasn't just the power on display, but the emotion behind it. Luffy's refusal to back down, even when his body was on the verge of collapsing, showed exactly why he's a captain worth following. And when he delivered that final jet Gatling, it became one of the most unforgettable victories. When Otis said the
And then you got Robin, what was it in English? It was, I want to live. What's Japanese? What did it sound like now? It's some like, Ikitai! You got the tears, bro, the hair flowing. Oh, beautiful.
final saga would feel like a battle royal, nobody expected one of the first matchups to be Law versus Blackbeard. On one side, Trafalgar Law, fresh off his victory against Big Mom, finally standing among the strongest. On the other, Blackbeard, the most unpredictable and terrifying pirate alive. The clash between Law's awakened devil fruit and Blackbeard's darkness was pure chaos, and it instantly reminded fans how insane the final saga is going to be. It was the
Law's devil fruit? It's not called OP for no reason.
Was pure chaos, and it instantly reminded fans how insane the final saga is going to be. It was the perfect reminder that in the final saga, anything can happen at any time. But as the fight reached its end, Law was left defeated, and Blackbeard stood ready to...
Bro, that darkness fruit, bro. Oh. It's like Asta's anti-magic. It's just not fair. just not fair, is it though?
Claim yet another devil fruit. It felt like the Heart Pirates were finished. And then came the most unexpected twist. Beepo, the only one still able to move, ate the rumble ball Chopper had given him, and made the impossible possible.
バカな隙もねえのに待て待て待て
Bro, WB Po, bro. W Beppo. W. Bro, that's a real animal right there. A real dog, bro. A real dog. Even though it's what, a panther, but you know, or a polar bear.
We can't talk about insane One Piece fights without mentioning Luffy versus Kaido. For so long,
Yeah.
Kaido was built up as the strongest creature in the world, seemingly untouchable, even for Luffy's strongest forms. They fought multiple
And I'll say this now. He's still the strongest. Kaido's still the strongest. Now that Whitebeard's dead, Kaido's still the strongest. I don't care what anyone says, bro. I mean, he's out of the game now. Luffy beat him, so he's not strongest anymore. But when he was his beautiful reign, bro, Kaido's reign, he was the strongest, fam. What you mean? He was just enjoying himself. He got caught off guard, bro. So man's liquored out of his head. Got jumped, bro. And then whooped all their asses, bro. Then fought Luffy hella times. Killed the man. Literally put him to death. Then fought him again, unleashing some of his strongest attacks. All while he's drunk. All whilst holding an island up in the air, making it float, bro. All whilst going in and out of his devil fruit, using Conqueror's Haki, bro. All whilst holding an island. And he's drunk. And they done caught this man by surprise, bro. And they jumped him and failed multiple times. Bro, I don't care, fam. A fresh Kaido, Luffy v Kaido, fresh, just them two, one-on-one. Not drunk or nothing. Bro, Kaido's whooping his ass. Gear 5 or not, bro. Kaido's winning. Then that's just facts. That's just facts.
times
this was
throughout
an
Wano.
amazing
If you
fight.
know the exact number, let me know in the comments. Every time Luffy pushed harder, Kaido found a way to knock him back down. But then came the moment that changed everything. Luffy's awakening of Gear 5. Gear 5 was epic, hilarious, and pure chaos all at once. Exactly what
Gear
makes
5.
Luffy and One Piece itself so special. This was the fight that broke the internet.
Oh yeah, and I forgot, bro, Kaido's son done switch sides and tried to whoop his ass, bro. And he's dealing with this delinquent child. I said son, wow. Well, I know she thought she was Odin, but, you know, yeah.
After all the chaos of Gear 5, it all came down to one final move. Luffy ended the fight with one of the craziest punches we've ever seen in the series. A massive blow from the skies that crashed down on Kaido with overwhelming force. It was the perfect way to close out one of the most insane battles in all of One Piece. Another insane fight from Wano is Zoro versus King. King pushed Zoro to his absolute limits, forcing him to
Bro, this was the best animated fight until we got to Egghead. Till we got to Egghead, bro, this was the best animated fight. Damn, I done knock the sound off. My bad.
kept building in intensity with every strike, and Zoro had to dig deeper than ever before to stand his ground. What made this fight even crazier was how it was brought to life in the anime. The animation, the choreography, and the sheer spectacle of Zoro's final attacks turned it into one of the most visually stunning battles in all of One Piece. For Zoro fans, it was the moment that proved he is truly Luffy's right hand, capable of standing tall against any opponent. Next, we have one of the most shocking clashes in the final saga, Shanks versus Kid. Nobody expected the fight to end the way it did, and it instantly...
Bruh. Kid went outside, man. Kid went outside. There's a few things about Kid. Now, I thought Kid was cool as a character, you know, part of the worst generation, you know, it was Luffy, him, Law. It was a good little trio thing going on. But he's clearly just the weakest out of the three. And I feel like they didn't need to do him like this though. Like, we get Shanks is powerful, but they could have gave Kid like some type of pushback at least. They didn't need to make him seem so weak and Shanks so powerful. You know? I feel like that was a bit unnecessary. But again, it's Kid, so yeah, got his ass whooped. Also, what do y'all think about the Vegapunk theory that Kid is number 5 of Vegapunk and it was his anger or his rage? Remember on the Damned Punk, and it came up with the numbers 05 and all the other Vegapunks was 01 to 4 in it. So yeah, just an interesting theory that I came across. Let me know what you think.
showed the insane gap between Shanks and the new generation of
I think that would be an amazing thing to throw in there. But I also think Kid is just not liked enough for anyone to care.
pirates. Even though the battle itself was extremely short, the ending was
So he's got
absolutely
numbers on his shit, like 07.
shocking.
and whatnot.
In just one overwhelming strike, Shanks reminded everyone why he's feared and respected across the seas. For Kid, it was a brutal reality check that turned him into a meme overnight. This time it was Big Dad standing in his way, and not Big Mom.
出てこい鏡さすがだな消しとら赤髪関西
Moving on, we have Zoro's legendary fight against Mr. One in Alabasta. For most of the battle, Zoro was completely outmatched. Mr. One's body was as hard as steel, and none of Zoro's attacks could break through. Every slash seemed useless, and it looked like the fight was hopeless.
can't
Pushed to
lie,
the
bro.
edge,
Man like Zoro, Zoro's tough, but bro, 3 times skip Zoro was going through it, bro. I can't even lie. All his fights, he was going through it. Ever since Mihawk done sliced him up. Yeah.
Zoro reached a new level of swordsmanship the moment he learned how to cut steel itself. That turned the tide and secured his victory, marking one of the biggest milestones in his journey to becoming the world's greatest swordsman. It was raw, intense, and exactly the kind of fight that made fans go insane.
いいんだ。もう受けねえ。鳥流居合。疾走損。
ダイヤでも切ろうっての。
そりゃもったいねえだろ。
参ったぜ。
Next, we have another fight from the Alabasta arc. What made it special is that in this arc, every Straw Hat had their own all-out fight, but this one carried a flair unlike any other. This clash stood out because it wasn't just about power, it was about personality. Watching these old fights feels like being...
This was an annoying fight as well. So, I'm gonna spare us all.
The moment he unleashed the power of his devil fruit, the entire island trembled.
一番隊隊長マルコ14人の隊長たち
Bro, you know how much motion this man had, bro? Oh my gosh. Talk about aura. Bro, I can feel the Conqueror's Haki before he's let it off.
俺の愛する息子は無事なんだろうな
Bro cracked. Bro cracked Earth. How'd you get any stronger than that, bro? Bro cracked Earth.
When Whitebeard finally decided to step into the war, he leapt down from the Moby Dick and entered the battlefield himself. His very presence alone was enough to shake the Marines, but for his allies, it was the opposite. It gave them hope. Seeing their captain in action reignited their spirits, and the allied pirates rallied with renewed determination. And then he flexed his power against the giant Vice Admiral John Giant in a stunning way. It was the perfect reminder of why Whitebeard was called the strongest man in the world.
邪魔だな
And this is an old man, by the way, y'all. An old man that was just hooked up to multiple IVs. And is doing all of this. You know, when your nan be retired and you tell her nan, just sit down. Like, why you should just always up doing something. You're like, nan, just sit down. That's him right now, bro. You need to just take it.
After countless sacrifices, the pirates finally managed to free Ace. For a moment, it seemed like everything was turning in their favor. The impossible had been achieved, and hope spread across the battlefield. But then came the turning point. Akainu's magma fist struck Ace, ending his life in one of the most heartbreaking moments in the entire series. The brief feeling of victory was shattered in an instant, and the war descended into complete chaos. From that moment on, Whitebeard could no longer hold back. Consumed by rage, he unleashed his full fury on Akainu, and Marineford witnessed the terrifying might of the strongest man in the world, like never before. Seeing Whitebeard giving his all, even in his final moments, was one of the best scenes in all of One Piece. This war escalated completely. Pirates, marines, and warlords all clashing in chaos that shook the entire world. And then came the man who put an end to it all.
よくやった、若い海兵。
You know what? At first, I was for the Shanks glaze. I was for it. I was like, man, like Shanks. But of recent times, bro, it's nah, bro. We need to stop the Shanks glaze. Like, this man has not had enough screen time. I know he's strong. I know he's a Yonko. I know blah blah. He was in God Valley. Blah 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 blah. Roger's crew. Blah 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 blah. Blah. But please, stop the glaze. Stop. Like, let's see him actually like duke it out with niggas, bro. But anyway, that's been it for this video, y'all. Make sure you like and subscribe. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Let me know any anime videos you want me to check out or anything. Yeah. Peace, love, and prosperity.